What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I'm the Godless engineer, and I critically analyze apologist claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. Why do some people fundamentally misunderstand atheism? Also, why do they baselessly hate the position? Today, we will be answering both of these questions as we dive into a video where the presenter unjustifiably hates atheism. Today, we'll be answering both of those questions as we dive into a video where the presenter unjustifiably hates atheism. She seems to attach a lot of unnecessary baggage to the atheist position that just isn't warranted in favor of magical thinking. Today, we are going to be analyzing a video by a YouTuber named Gothix where she tries to warn people of the dangers of atheism. Atheism isn't dangerous. It's just simply not being convinced that a God exists, and therefore you don't believe in a God. How is that dangerous? But in this video, Gothix is taking a very specific position of arguing for the Judeo-Christian God. So I will be taking the harder atheist position, claiming that that God, the Judeo-Christian God, simply doesn't exist at all and can't exist if it is as described in the Bible. Now, I will say that there are some political topics that come up, so if you don't like my political content or how fucking liberal I am, then you might as well just leave the video now. All right, now that all the conservative dipshits have left the video, I'm going to show you why Gothix is illogical in her analysis of atheism. And regardless of whether or not some God out there does exist, you definitely shouldn't believe Gothix's bullshit. All right, let's get into this dumb fucking video.
Do you hate child abuse? What about gang violence? Do you hate that? Maybe you hate school shootings. Perhaps you hate murder in general, taking an innocent life. What about that? What about child mutilation? Do you hate the sexualization of children? Or maybe you hate sex trafficking in general. Do you hate communism? If you answered yes to any of these questions, and I could keep going, but if you answered yes, then you should also hate atheism.
I don't understand how any of those topics are connected to atheism. The mere lack of belief in a God or somebody just simply not believing in a God has nothing to do with anything that she just mentioned. And I really don't know what else there is to say about this bullshit.
Now, let me make myself very clear. I didn't say you should hate atheists. What I said is you should hate atheism.
Oh, okay. Well, usually when people say that they hate atheism in the way that Gothix has, they are using that as a reason to sling shit in the atheist direction. And it's also used as a shield for assholes that want to treat atheists like shit. This is like some conservative dipshit screaming about protecting children from drag shows, while at the same time not really giving a shit about protecting children from school shootings. Something tells me that there's not a lot of kids dying at fucking drag shows, but boy, conservatives want to keep their guns, so if Timmy has to die, then Timmy has to die. If he dies, he dies.
Why is this important? As most of you know, I used to be a Democrat. I used to support political candidates based on my feelings, based on my skin color, based on what the social consensus was of the group that I surrounded myself with. Now, I walked away from the left back in 2020, and although I started to really resonate with a lot of the opinions of people that had more of a right-leaning perspective, essentially I got red-pilled.
Ah, so you're a dipshit. That makes this entire video make sense. Just like I don't understand why somebody would think that I would become religious, I also don't understand why anybody would be red-pilled. Conservatives are convinced by conservative politicians to vote against their own interests. Basically, this is what happens when conservatives vote. Hey there, constituent. I'm gonna be passing a bill that allows me to punch you directly in the face whenever I want to. Would you vote for me, please? Well, I don't know. What's your stance on abortion? Oh, abortion is murder, most definitely. And I will be passing legislation to stop it. Well, shit. I'm in a predicament here. I mean, yeah, I guess I'll vote for you even though you're gonna punch me relentlessly in the face every single day because of the law that you're gonna pass. I'm perfectly fine with that. I will vote for you, sir. I'm not sorry. I will never fucking do that. Furthermore, I have way too much love for my community to do something as dipshitty as being a conservative. Conservatives will use the welfare of children in order to advance their own ideologies, while at the same time actively voting against measures that would help children, like reducing access to the free lunch program or protecting children from gun violence. I mean, just consider it. Ted Cruz wanted to turn every school in America into a literal death trap by only having one entrance and exit to the entire school before he'd even consider doing anything about reducing the gun violence problem. Conservatives will also use the excuse that mental health is the problem and not the guns. Yet, when given the chance to actively do something about the mental health problem, they unanimously agreed not to do anything. I mean, seriously, being red-pilled at this point is publicly admitting that you're a dumbass.
If you don't know, that's the official term. I got red-pilled. And although I really resonated with a lot of these ideas, I noticed something very early on. I kept finding myself butting heads with a lot of people that were essentially on the same side, right? We shared the same core beliefs as it came to the red pill movement, with the exception of certain issues that all tied back to morality.
I'm not surprised that she had issues with morality. I've come to find that most conservatives out there have a real tough time processing anything more complex than a pure dichotomy when it comes to certain issues. And if it's not one of their preferred positions, then it has to be a hard dichotomy. So her having moral conflicts with other conservatives really isn't surprising to me.